Hey guys, lovely to see you all again. Today we're going to be looking at the solo from The God That Failed by Metallica. Let's take a look. Okay guys, so interestingly enough, this song is not in standard tuning. We're actually in E flat today, which goes E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, and another E flat. So get yourself in tune, and we'll get started. Alright guys, let's have a look at the first section. I'm going to start off with just a single fretted hand, playing 7th fret of the 5th string, and then I'm going to be tapping 10. So I've only got 2 notes here. I'm going to do that tap to pull off idea 16 times, or 2 counts of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to move my tapping hand back to 9. Then we're going to have a relationship between 9 and 7, but I only do that 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I bring my left hand back to fret 6. I'm going to tap from 9 to 6 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I work into this. So I'm sliding into 9 of the 3rd string, playing 8 of the 2nd, back to 9 of the 3rd. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I work into this phrase. Okay, let's have a look at the start of that. I've got to bend from 10 of the 2nd string. I'm going to hit it again at the top and then play it at the bottom. At the end of that, I play 8, 7 on the 2nd string. At the end of that, I'm going to be playing 8, 7 on the 2nd string again, but jumping to 9 of the 3rd string. So all together. At the end of that, I've got a hammer-on pull-off idea going 7, 8, 7, and then sliding to 3, and that's all in one pick. At the end of that, I'm going to go from 3 of the 2nd string to 4 of the 3rd, and then I want to play 3 of the 2nd string twice. At the end of that, I slide from 3 to 5 and then hit 5 again and slide out. Let's go from that slidey bit now. The hammer on into the slide. Hopefully that's all making sense. Now the next phrase is not too complicated. There is a lot of picking going on because I'm working in a 16th or semi-quavered pulse. But if we slow it down, you'll see that it's a relatively simple idea. So what I'm going to do is just show you the single notes, and then we'll add the pedaling E note that goes with it, and then obviously the pulse of the 16th or semi-quavered pulse on the picking hand. Hopefully this doesn't complicate things too much. So I'm going to start off with this. So we'll be working in quarter notes or crotchets. I'm playing 5, 7, 8, 10. That's all on the 2nd string. And I'm going to play 12, 10, 8, 7. It's got a bit of a painted black vibe. And I'm going to play 8, 7, 5, 4. Then from that point, I'm going to go 5, 7, 8, 10. All together. Okay, what I'm going to do now is add in that pedaling high E note. So I'm going to go. Kind of gives it a bit more of a bluesy vibe when you've got that pedaling. And now what we're going to do is on each one of those quarter notes, we're going to play 4 notes. We're going to have 4 16ths. Hopefully that is all making sense. Let's go right back to the start of the section with the tapping, play it all relatively slowly, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. Alright guys, let's have a look at the second section. I'm going to start off with this sliding double stop idea. I'm going from 12 with the first string. I'm going to slide in, first and the second string together for that double stop, and then when I get there, I'm going to hit them both 6 more times. So a quick group of 6, and then I do one more strum and slide out. So I've got a single to slide in, a group of 6, and then another single to slide out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do that whole idea twice. Let's have a look at that pentatonic phrase that follows. So I've got 2 leading notes here. I'm playing 14 of the 4th into 12 of the 3rd, then 14 of the 3rd, and I'm going to play this bend pull off idea 3 times. At the end of the 3rd one, I've got something slightly different. So I'm bending 14 of the 3rd string up and back, pulling off to 12. At the end of the 3rd one though, I'm jumping to 14 of the 4th string, back to 12 of the 3rd. At the end of that, got that delicious unison kind of double stop bend there. I'm playing 15 of the 2nd with 14 of the 3rd, keeping it as rocky as possible. Let's go right back to the start of the section, have a look at everything we've got thus far, and then we'll add the second half to it. Okay, let's have a look at this octave idea. Now this is relatively tricky because there's not a lot of picking that goes on in between. You kind of need to get a lot out of one strum. Let's slow that down. So to start off, I'm going to be playing 7 of the 5th and 9 of the 3rd. And from there, I'm going to slide that up 7, 9, 10, 12, 14. And then from there, I'm going to slide backwards 14, 12, 10. Hopefully that's making sense. And at the end of that, I'm going to be playing just an octave on 14 and an octave on 12. At the end of that, I'm going to slide back 10, 9, 7. So all together nice and slow. Then I work into this phrase. So let's slow that down. I'm sliding into 9 of the 3rd string. And then I want to be playing 7, 6 on the 3rd, jumping to 9 of the 4th. At the end of that, I'm going to be playing 6, 7 on the 3rd, but adding in a cheeky pinch harmonic on that 7th fret. Okay, then after that I work into this phrase. Very similar phrasing to this. It's almost the same thing twice. We're going to start off with a little legato. I'm playing 14, 15, 14 on the 2nd string, legato, hammer on, pull off. Then I jump to 16 of the 3rd. At the end of that, I'm playing 14, 15, 17. At the end of that, very similar phrasing there. I'm playing 14, 15, 14 again, but on the 1st string this time, hammer on, pull off, jumping to 17 of the 2nd. And then at the end of that, I'm going to be playing 14, 15, 17. Hopefully that is all making sense. So that's all of the second section. Let's go right back to the start of it with those double stop slides, put it all together at a gentleman's pace, and then we'll do it again, even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. guys, the start of the third section is going to start off with this phrase. Let's slow that down. So I'm starting off with a slide into 19 of the first string. Then after that, I'm going to hit it 5 more times. Then a group of 3. So I've got a single note, a group of 5, and then a group of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Then another group of 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully that makes sense. Then I work into this phrase. Same thing 2 times in a row. I'm going to be pulling off 19, 17, 15 on the first string and then jumping back to 19 again. So I've got 1 pick for the legato and then 1 pick for the extra 19. Same thing twice, and then it goes into this phrase. Let's slow that down. Legato once again, I'm playing 19, 17, 15 on the first string, then jumping to 17 at the second. Then I'm playing 15, 17 on the first string again. Then from that point, quick triplet there. At the end of that, I'm going to be playing 17, 15 again on the first string, jumping to 17 at the second, and then 15, 17, 19. So there's 1 quick triplet in there, but the rest of it's kind of slow. Hopefully that's all making sense. Let's go right back to the start of the section, put together what we've got, and then we'll work on the next half. Okay, let's have a look at the next phrase now. It goes. It's exactly the same thing 4 times. There's just 1 extra note at the end of the 4th group of this. So I'm doing rolling legato, 19, 17, 15 on the first, jumping to 17 at the second. We're going to do that 4 times, but at the end of the 4th group, I'm going to hit an extra 15 on the first string. So let's do that 4 times and then add the extra note. Hopefully that's making sense. And then we're going to sort of borrow, I guess, what you'd find on something like Ride the Lightning, or maybe even Justice, this phrase. Your classic kind of Hammett descending groups of 16. So I'm going to do sort of 3 notes in 1 spot and then have the position shift, and that's going to get me ready for the next sort of shred of 4 16th notes. So I'm going to be playing 19, 17, 15, 14, 17, 15, 14, 12, 15, 14, 12, 10, 14, 12, 10, 8, and then from that point I play 12, 8, so 12, 10, 8, 7. So all together. At the end of that, I'm going to be playing 10, 8, 7 on the first string, jumping to 8 at the second string. At the end of that, I'm going to hit 7 on the first string and jump back to 8 of the second string, and that's going to finish our section. So we've got... Hopefully that's all making sense. All right, guys, let's go right back to the start of the section, play the whole thing relatively slowly, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. All right, let's have a look at that 4th section. We're going to start off with this cheeky little lick that breaks up the solo. All right, so what I'm doing there at the start, a hammer-on pull-off, going 4, 5, 4 on the 4th string. And then I'm going to be playing 7, 5, 4 on the 5th. But what I'm going to do from that 4th fret is slide back to 2. At the end of that, I'm going to be playing 5, 3 on the 6th. All together, I'm going to repeat that idea twice. And I do like to hit that 4th fret slide a little bit more aggressively, just for shits and giggles, if you will. At the end of that, what I have there is I'm playing an F sharp power chord, 2nd fret of the 6th, and then 4 of the next 2. You can do a 2-fingered one if you want, doesn't really matter. I'm going from that to an open E, which is open on the 6th, 2 of the 5th and the 4th. And I hit that twice. At the end of that, what I've got here is kind of a 4-pulsed bend on 22 of the 1st string. So I'm going up and down slowly once, and then faster 3 more times. Hopefully that's all making sense. 1, 1, 2, 3. At the end of that, I'm going to be playing 19 to 22. In typical Kirk Hammett fashion, he's kind of playing a B minor pentatonic in E. Don't know why he does this so much. It doesn't sound that good, but anyway, he's around that position of the B minor pentatonic if we're in standard tuning. So we're going 19, 22 at the end of that. I'm going to go into that little lick there. I'm playing 19, 22, 19 on the 1st string, hammer on pull off. 22 of the 2nd, back to 19 of the 1st. Now from this point, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. So I'm doing exactly the same thing 6 times, bending 22 of the 2nd into 19 of the 1st. One thing to keep in mind though is that first bend is kind of slurred in from a normal note into the bent note, if that makes sense. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. All right, let's have a look at the whole thing thus far, and then we'll look at the last little chunk. Okay, then I work into this phrase. That should sound quite Ride the Lightning-y, if we can reminisce on some old Hammett. I'm pulling off from 22 to 19 on the 1st string, then jumping to 22 of the 2nd, back to 19 of the 1st. That's going to give us a 4-note grouping. Then I'm going to do it again, but with 2 pull-offs at the front of it, and that's going to give us a 6-note grouping. So I'm going to repeat that 6-note grouping again. So I've got a single pull-off and then 2 doubles. I'm going to do a very similar idea. I'm going to go from the single note group, single pull-off into the double pull-off, but just do one of the double pull-offs. So it goes like this. At the end of that, to finish that phrase off, I'm going to be playing 22 of the 2nd twice, but the second time I hit it, I bend it up and back, then pull off to 19. So it goes. Okay, hopefully that's all making sense. Then I work into this phrase. Once again, I've definitely heard this kind of lick from Kirk Hammett before in other solos. Let's slow that down. I'm going to bend 22 up and back and pluck it in both directions on the 2nd string, working down the B minor pentatonic. So I bend that up and back, pulling off to the 19 on the 2nd string. Then I'm going to be playing 21 of the 3rd, then 19 of the 3rd, 21 of the 4th, and then make my way back up to that from 19 to 21 on the 3rd string, just working up that pentatonic again. Okay, now this next point I'm bending and I'm going to be playing in, I guess, what would be the crotchet or quarter note triplet. So I'm going pineapple, 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 and then I go down. So I've got pineapple, pineapple, pineapple. After the 3rd pineapple, I hit it one more time. That bends down, and at the end of that, I'm going to be playing 19 of the 3rd into 21 of the 4th. And that's the whole solo. So let's go right back to the start to that cheeky little lick that leads into the 4th section, and then we'll play the whole thing even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. solo from The Girl That Failed by Metallica. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you want tabs to this lesson and anything else that I do, please join up with the Patreon for extra tabs, extra content, all of that fun stuff that you can't get off ye old YouTube. Of course, I want to let you guys know I've got 3 books out right now. Ultimate Shred Machine if you want to up your chops in shredding, sweeping, legato, and tapping. My second book, Rock Guitar Mode Master, if you want to up your understanding of how to use the modes in a composed or improvised context. And my third book, Shred Guitar Improvisation, is out if you want to up your understanding of how to deal with chord changes, different sequences, all of that stuff. It is all in that book. And if you want all 3 books together in one definitive trilogy, I have the Shred Guitar Soloing collection. So you can just grab them all at once. If you're not much of a reader, all 3 books are available in a video course format on Udemy and chrisuber.com. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy the lesson. I will catch you all very soon.